The Epic of Hades, Lord of the Underworld and the shadow that haunts mankind. Among the three brothers who divided the cosmos, Zeus who ruled the sky, Poseidon who commanded the seas, Hades is the one least spoken of, yet the one who sends a chill down every spine. No blinding thunder, no raging storms. Hades reigns in silence, in shadows, and in the primal fear that all mortals share, death. His realm knows no light. Buried deep beneath the earth, it is where souls gather, where no one returns. Some call it the Underworld, others hell, a forbidden land where Hades wears a crown of shadows and governs the eternal stillness. But Hades is no devil. His tale is not one of evil or horror, but of destiny and solitude. Behind the cold exterior lies a tragic figure, one condemned to rule over a kingdom even the gods themselves dare not visit. This is the story of the forgotten brother, eclipsed by Olympus's brilliance. A quiet epic, yet no less mighty. The tale of Hades. Are you ready to step through the gates of the underworld? Hades, the swallowed sun, born of shadows. Before Olympus rose, the universe was chaos, locked in a war of primal forces. At its helm stood Cronus, the ruthless titan who overthrew his own father, Uranus, to seize the throne of existence. But power breeds fear. And Cronus heard a whisper, a prophecy from Gaia, Mother Earth. One of your own children will rise against you, as you once did your father. That single line became his obsession. One by one, as Rhea bore his children, Poseidon, Hades, Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Cronus devoured them whole. He swallowed his legacy to escape his fate. Only one escaped, Zeus, the youngest, hidden by Rhea, replaced with a swaddled stone. Zeus grew up far from the shadows of tyranny, but vengeance burned within him. With the help of Metis, goddess of wisdom, Zeus tricked Cronus into regurgitating his siblings. And from that darkness, Hades emerged not to sunlight, but to the stench of blood, thunder, and war. The universe shook as the gods and titans clashed in the cataclysmic titanomachy. Hades was no thunder wielder like Zeus, no stormbringer like Poseidon. He was a silent force, a fury forged in years of confinement. Gifted the helm of darkness by the Cyclopes, Hades slipped unseen through the battlefield, an invisible terror. Where he passed, titans fell, and whispers rose. A shadow moves among us. It strikes like fate. The gods triumphed. Cronus was cast down. The titans chained in Tartarus. But victory came at a cost. Balance had to be restored. The three brothers drew lots to divide the cosmos. Zeus took the sky. Poseidon claimed the sea. And Hades drew the darkest fate. The underworld. The land of the dead. The silent realm beneath the earth. No cheers. No celebration. Only a solemn nod and a descent into the shadows. It was not a reward. It was destiny. The realm of Hades, where mistakes have no place. When the great division of the cosmos was complete, Zeus took the sky, Poseidon claimed the sea, Hades, the silent eldest brother, withdrew into the one domain no god desired, the world of the dead. But do not mistake this for defeat or retreat. It was a choice, whether born of will or woven by destiny, to preserve the balance of the universe. The realm of Hades is unlike any other in Greek mythology. There is no light here, no laughter, no glory or splendor like Olympus. It is a world stitched together by rigid laws, solemn shadows, and the chilling stillness of souls with nowhere else to go. Not everyone can cross into the land of the dead. First, they must face the river Styx, the river of oaths and forgetfulness. All souls, newly freed from flesh, must traverse it to reach the other side. But they cannot cross alone. Charon, the ancient ferryman with eyes deep as the abyss and hands like brittle bone, will only ferry those who carry a coin beneath their tongue, a sacred rite in ancient Greek tradition. Those without proper burial, those without a coin, are left behind, wandering the riverbank forever, their cries lost like fading mist. Beyond the Styx waits Cerberus, the three-headed hound of the underworld. Each head embodies a primal instinct, to guard, to hunt, to punish. Cerberus never sleeps. He does not bite those who enter, but those who try to escape. A dreadful reminder, death is irreversible. And then comes judgment, delivered by three ancient kings, Minos, Rhadamanthus, and Aeacus. These judges are beyond emotion, unmoved by offerings, immune to divine sway. They gaze into each soul, and from its dim glow, they see the truth. Souls are sent to one of three realms. Tartarus, the abyss of torment, not for ordinary sinners, but for those who defied the gods, betrayed divine order, and sowed chaos. Here the Titans lie chained. Sisyphus rolls his stone. Ixion burns on a flaming wheel not out of hatred, but as a warning. Arrogance carries an eternal price. Elysium, the golden fields of eternity. Here dwell the righteous, the poets, the heroes. No more pain, no more sorrow, only peace everlasting. To enter Elysium is to have lived nobly and died worthy. Asphodel, the plain of ordinary souls. Neither wicked enough for Tartarus, nor glorious enough for Elysium. They drift in pale mist, nameless and numb. No words, no memory, only the silent hush of a life unremarkable. And above all these layers stands Hades, the lord of the dead. He does not roar. He does not boast. He seeks no thunderbolts, no symbols of dominion. He demands only order, sacred respect for divine law, and that the boundary of death remains forever unbroken. But in this cold and absolute kingdom, something is about to arrive. Something even Hades could not predict. Love. A spring maiden. A fracture between worlds. And a struggle that will shake the border between life and death. If you're ready for the next chapter, Persephone, a love divided between two worlds, then click Continue and step with me into the most haunting and tender part of the epic of Hades. Persephone, when spring blossoms fell into the underworld. In the cold, unchanging world of Hades, where all is bound by law and silence, love is a forbidden whisper. Emotion has no place here, for in the realm of the dead, desire is seen as weakness. And yet, a single flower bloomed in the heart of shadow. Persephone, daughter of the earth goddess Demeter, was the embodiment of spring, of youth, of wildflowers, of eternal renewal. Wherever she stepped, life awakened. While the gods of Olympus battled for power, she lived untouched by sorrow, under her mother's watchful gaze, innocent, unknowing of pain or love. Until one day, as she gathered blossoms in the fields of Nyssa, the earth cracked open. From its depths rose Hades, lord of the underworld, in a black chariot drawn by 4 obsidian horses. No warning, no proposal. He seized her and vanished beneath the earth in a gust of cold wind, tearing spring from the world above. Was it abduction? Or a love twisted by fate? For ages, this question has haunted poets and priests alike. Some say Hades was a thief of innocence. Others whisper, the moment he saw Persephone, he fell, so deeply, so utterly, that even a god as restrained as he was driven to madness. And in the depths of his kingdom, amid obsidian walls and blue flame, Persephone was not bound by chains, but by isolation. She did not scream. She did not rage. She sat in silence, like the silence of the dead. And Hades, god of control and shadows, was left bewildered. He did not know how to love, nor how to be loved. Demeter, the mother in mourning. Far above, Demeter spiraled into grief. She abandoned Olympus. She scoured the earth, letting crops wither and rivers dry. A cold famine settled across the world. Winter reigned. Humanity teetered on the edge of extinction. Zeus, caught between two realms, could wait no longer. He issued a divine command. Persephone must be returned. But in the underworld, something had already happened. In a moment of hunger, or perhaps of curiosity, Persephone ate a single seed of pomegranate offered by Hades. A small act, but bound by sacred law. Those who taste the food of the dead can never return fully to the land of the living. A deal of destiny. After long debate, the gods reached a compromise. Persephone would divide her year, half in the underworld with Hades, and half upon the earth with her mother. Thus began the cycle of seasons. When she rises, spring and summer bloom. When she descends, autumn and winter fall. But few know what truly changed. In the darkness, Persephone began to transform. No longer just the maiden of meadows, she learned to rule shadow, to hear the whispers of the dead, and perhaps, just perhaps, to love the quiet, solemn God who waited. No one knows if that love was real, but from that day forward, the underworld was never again so cold. And Hades, no longer merely the keeper of death, became something more, a soul who learned to wait for spring. Hades, the keeper of balance and eternal solitude. Since the day Persephone entered his realm, the underworld was no longer a place of death alone. She, with hair like the autumn night and eyes that carried spring, brought warmth to a land once ruled by silence. But Hades did not change. He remained distant, composed, always keeping a solemn space between himself and all things living. He was not a god of thunder like Zeus, nor fierce like Ares, nor fickle like Apollo. Hades ruled not with fire or fear, but with order, and that made him not only the most feared, but the most just of all gods. No soul escapes judgment. Hades does not take lives, he receives them. He is the final gatekeeper, the one who decides who may rest and who must wander in torment. Within his domain lie the names that even gods speak in hushed tones: Tartarus, Asphodel, Elysium, Lethe. There is no favoritism, no mercy born of status. Mortal or king, hero or god, once they cross his threshold, all stand equal before Hades. Choosing solitude to protect balance, Hades never sought fame. While his brothers, Zeus and Poseidon, entangled themselves in scandals, wars, and chaos, Hades sat quietly upon his obsidian throne, observing all yet interfering with nothing. Some call him cold, detached, the god no one truly understands. But the truth is this: Hades chose isolation. Because he knew, if even he were swayed by emotion, the balance of the universe would begin to crack. The tragedy of the final gatekeeper. The deepest sorrow is not ruling the dead, but knowing that all souls must eventually arrive. He does not cause death, but he is always the first to greet it. Every cry, every plea, every final glance filled with rage or regret, they all pass through his hands. Hades asks for no love. He expects no pity. He only does one thing. He guards death with unwavering order, so that life, on the other side, may continue. Hades in the eyes of mankind. Today, few speak of Hades with reverence. He is often miscast as a devil, a dark lord of hell, compared to demons of later religions and twisted into a figure of fear. But that is a deep misunderstanding. In Greek mythology, Hades is no evil god. He is the embodiment of absolute justice, a symbol of a realm where every soul must confront itself, stripped of rank, power, and earthly glory. He is the final gatekeeper, the one who chose eternal darkness so that the world above might shine in light, the one who loved without force, who ruled without demanding worship. And perhaps that is why Hades, the most silent of gods, is also the most human.